Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Just a quick look at the murders of the four students in Moscow, Idaho: Ethan, Zana, Maddie, and Kaylee. In the past week, we got little more information, but one really had to read between the lines to gather anything new or make new deductions. We have now heard that the perpetrator most likely entered through the back sliding door leading directly to the second level. I deducted that anyway, as the front door leading to the ground level or basement level had a keypad lock, and even if the perpetrator knew the code, it may have beeped and clicked while he keyed in the code. If he entered with the code, it would also have made the pool of potential suspects smaller. Now, I know many creators have actually posted a photograph of interlocking bar stools holding the door closed. However, I'm not paying much attention to that because we don't know when that photograph was taken. It could very well have been done by the investigators to secure the door. Then we also heard that Zana was one of the four who had defensive wounds. It is now also more certain that Ethan and Zana were on the second floor and Kaylee and Madison on the third floor. And this is because there was an M in the window of one of the third floor bedrooms, which I assume stood for Madison or then Maddie. We also heard that Zana Knodl's mother, Cara Knodl, was arrested on the 19th of November on numerous drug charges and what appears to me to be an outstanding warrant. Now, this was a mere 6 days after the murders. Now, one can surmise that this could be something which could have played a role in the incident, maybe revenge or a drug debt. But Cora actually has a rather extensive record relating to other charges, such as domestic violence, disturbing the peace, theft, driving with a suspended license, injury to a child, failure to display insurance, more drug possession charges, and the list goes on and on. A poster on Twitter confirmed that this person, Cara Denise Gnodal, was indeed Zana's mother. So far, only Zana's father, Jeff Gnodal, had said anything publicly about the murders, and we do not know what the relationships were like in their family. It does, however, appear that Zana had a close relationship with her father. As far as I know, Zana has a sister. I blurred Zana's sister's face out in the picture because I do not know how old she is and do not wish her any more hurt and pain. There are rumors of an argument Zana had with some guy, which she allegedly told her father about. I don't know whether this is true, but it is something I picked up in one of the chats. I'm sure that if true, Mr. Knodel did tell law enforcement about it, and they are indeed investigating it. So, from Zana's side, we have two possibilities: her mother's drug connections and this alleged fight that she had with this unnamed man. For me personally, and in my very, very humble opinion, I do not think any of this is of significance in the case, as it does not answer why the person who must have encountered Ethan and Zana first would go up to the third floor and attack Kaylee and Maddie. If this is the case, why not dispose of Zana and Ethan and then leave? There is also a story doing the rounds that Kaylee had a stalker. However, law enforcement could not find any evidence of that, and Kaylee's sister said that Kaylee was very open and told her everything, and she never told her anything about a stalker. Then there is Maddie Mogan. Maddie's parents have not said a word to the media or publicly yet, not a peep. On the one hand, one can understand it, but on the other hand, I would want something from them. Maybe just something that she may have said to any of them before this happened. We now know that Maddie had a boyfriend named Jake, whose name has not come up once, although Kaylee's ex-boyfriend Jack had been mentioned and discussed a few times. Has law enforcement cleared Jake completely? If they have, I would think it would be good and beneficial to the community to know that Jake had been cleared. They could come out and went as far as to say that they do not think that Jack is linked to the murder. So why not include Jake in that statement? Now, granted, law enforcement did tell us about those multiple calls Kaylee and Maddie made to Jack. While talking about Jack, there is one correction I wish to make about the dog called Murphy. Contrary to another story I read, the dog was indeed unharmed at the house. Murphy is now with Jack, and Jack was photographed with the dog Murphy on the 22nd of November getting into his vehicle. Jack Decour, or Decour, I don't know how he pronounces his surname, and Kaylee dated for 5 years and were on a break at the time of the murders. They do, however, seem to have been in contact still as they shared custody of Murphy. Kaylee's family came out in support of Jack and said that he was part of the family and hurting very much. In their opinion, Kaylee and Jack would have gotten together again and would have married eventually. I, somehow, as an outsider, do not think so. I have a feeling Kaylee has outgrown Jack. Kaylee was likely going to take a job in Texas. Jack also does not appear to be the sweet angel that the family paints him to be. Jack made a few what I would call snotty or snarky remarks on Kaylee's Instagram page, and that is just from what I could see. I also have a few questions about those phone calls made by Kaylee and Maddie to Jack in the early morning hours before the attack. Yes, there may be a good reason why he did not answer any of those 9 or 10 calls. Maybe he was asleep and his phone on silent or even off, or in his bag or in another room, or maybe he was just being spiteful, saw it was Kaylee and thought he was going to teach her a lesson and not answer. Maybe even tried to make her jealous and pretend he was out with someone, or maybe he just did not want to appear too available, seeing that she broke up with him. Who knows? But I'm sure law enforcement pinged his phone and that his phone was indeed at his home. But does that mean that Jack was at his home? Does it mean that Jack was indeed asleep? Did Kaylee or Maddie leave a voice message after any of those calls? If so, what did it say? I do not think both girls calling him 9 or 10 times was just drunken calling or for the heck of it. Once, twice, 3 times maybe, but 10 times and both of them calling? And another question, if he loved Kaylee so much, why didn't he call back the following morning? And that leads me to another question. Was Jack stalking Kaylee to see who she was hanging out with? Looking at the food truck video, it is hard to guess which girl is which, but their families and law enforcement would know. But it was clear to me that one of the girls was a bit agitated. And why did they run after getting their food? Did Kaylee perhaps spot Jack or someone else and they decided to run? After all the information which came out this week, I'm still of the opinion that the perpetrator was a male between 18 and 35, not necessarily someone close to one or all four of them, but someone who knows at least one or two, or then all four of them. Someone from work, a fellow student, or someone who was invited to the home for a party. Goodness, it could be a pizza delivery man, but somehow I would not remove it that far. I'm still sticking to someone a little closer, someone who had actually been inside that house at least once. I definitely suspect that the person was indeed angry at one, two, or all four of the victims. I heard some creators say that the skinning of people's dog not too far away had nothing to do with this case, but I don't agree. Law enforcement said there is no evidence that it was related. Having no evidence that it is related does not mean that it isn't. It purely means that there is no evidence to link the two cases. Was this thus a practice run, or is there an angry person in Moscow? Someone who would kill a neighbor's dog because it pooed on his lawn or chased his cat? Maybe someone who is angry at or was embarrassed by one of the four at college or where they worked, or perhaps Ethan took his place in a team. We don't know. It is my opinion that this crime will not go unsolved for long. Somebody other than the criminal knows or suspects him. This is a small community. There are cameras on almost every street corner. This guy did not walk out of that house squeaky clean. He must have been covered in blood, and even if he changed somewhere, he must have a bruise or two, must have some blood on his shoes. Did the police even check laundromats? Did he walk or did he drive there? If he had driven there, where did he park? On one of the cameras, they may even pick up a car parked where it doesn't belong, or even a car speeding. I'm telling you, someone knows something, even if right now they may not even know that they know. But this guy will be caught. From what I hear, this was overkill, which means that this guy has anger issues and may even act on his anger regularly, or he may be a little impulsive. I'll keep an eye out on different channels and particularly in the comment sections of various social media platforms. I have a feeling this guy will be in custody before Christmas. Okay, guys and girls, I will be back as soon as there is more information available. I want you guys to take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe out there until we meet again. Bye.